You think working harder will make you financially free, but the system was never designed for you to catch up. Because while you're trying to save money, the value of your money is quietly shrinking in the background. And the harder life gets, the more the system profits from it. On the surface, it looks normal, but it's not. Most people think they're falling behind because they made bad decisions. But this is affecting your paycheck, your rent, your groceries, your debt, and even your future. You can work longer hours, pick up side hustles, budget harder, skip vacations, and somehow you still feel stuck. Because every time you get slightly ahead, something gets more expensive. Rent jumps, insurance rises, food costs more, utilities increase, interest rates climb. The money you fought to earn disappears again. And this is where it gets serious. Most people think this is random. It's not. Let's simplify the modern financial system. Imagine life as a race. Your goal is simple. Earn money, save money, build wealth, eventually get ahead. Sounds fair. But here's the problem. The track itself keeps moving. Every year, the cost of living rises. Housing, healthcare, education, transportation, food, everything slowly becomes more expensive. Normally, wages are supposed to rise too, but for millions of people, they're not rising fast enough. That gap is where financial pressure begins. And over time, that pressure becomes permanent. Here's what they don't tell you. The system isn't built around helping people build wealth. It's built around keeping money moving, debt moving, consumption moving, payments moving. Think about modern life. Most people finance almost everything: cars, homes, phones, education, furniture, even groceries in some cases. Entire lifestyles are now built on monthly payments, which means many people never truly own their lives. They rent access to them. And this is where things start to go wrong, because when your survival depends on constant payments, you become extremely vulnerable. One layoff, one emergency, one rent increase, one medical bill, and suddenly everything collapses. That's why so many people feel financially anxious even when they're employed, because deep down they know they're one disruption away from crisis. And the craziest part, this isn't only happening to low-income people anymore. Middle-class families are starting to feel it too. People with decent salaries, people working full-time jobs, people doing everything right, still struggling, still stressed, still behind. And this is where it affects you directly, because the modern economy quietly trains people to confuse income with wealth. But they're not the same thing. Someone can earn 6 figures and still be trapped financially. Why? Because real wealth isn't about how much money comes in, it's about how much money stays. And right now, the system is designed to drain money constantly. Subscriptions, debt payments, inflation, taxes, interest, fees, insurance, rent. The moment money enters your account, multiple systems immediately begin extracting it. On the surface, it looks normal, but it's not. Now here's the hidden layer nobody talks about. The real problem isn't just inflation, it's asset inflation. Because while everyday people save money, wealthy people own assets: homes, stocks, businesses, land. And over time, those assets rise in value faster than wages. That means if you only rely on earned income, you slowly fall behind people who own appreciating assets. Even if you work harder, even if you're disciplined, even if you save carefully. Because the game itself changed. Decades ago, a single income could often support a home, a family, savings, retirement. Now, many households need 2 incomes just to stay afloat. Why? Because the cost of assets exploded. Homes became investment vehicles, education became expensive debt, healthcare costs surged, and financial growth became increasingly tied to ownership, not labor. This is why younger generations often feel hopeless financially. They entered a system where the ladder keeps getting pulled higher. Homes cost more relative to income. Rent absorbs larger percentages of paychecks. Interest rates punish borrowing. And salaries struggle to keep pace. But it gets worse, because the financial system also benefits when people stay dependent. Think about credit cards, minimum payments, buy now, pay later, long-term car loans, 30-year mortgages. The economy grows when people borrow and spend. which means debt itself became part of the engine. And once people enter cycles of debt, escaping becomes harder. Interest quietly compounds against them, month after month, year after year. And this is where it gets serious. Because while many people are trying to survive financially, their money is losing purchasing power at the same time. If inflation rises faster than your savings grow, you're effectively moving backward, even if your bank balance looks bigger. That's the trap. People think saving money alone guarantees security, but if the value of life rises faster than your income and savings, you never truly catch up. And this is why so many people feel exhausted, because they're running harder every year just to maintain the same standard of living. Think about that. You're not imagining it. Life genuinely requires more effort now for the same result. And most people blame themselves. But here's what they don't tell you. The system rewards ownership far more than effort. That's why someone's house can gain more value in a year than another person earns working full-time. That's why investors often become richer during economic chaos. That's why inflation can quietly widen wealth gaps, because when asset prices rise, owners benefit. Everyone else pays more. And this is where it affects you. Rent rises because property values rise. Food prices rise because transportation and production costs rise. Insurance rises because risk rises. Education rises because debt availability rises. Everything connects. The modern economy became deeply financialized, meaning more parts of life are treated like investment opportunities. Homes aren't just homes anymore, they're assets. Healthcare isn't just healthcare, it's a business sector. Education isn't just education, it's an industry built around loans. And once basic necessities become profit systems, prices naturally climb over time. Now here's something even more alarming. Technology was supposed to make life cheaper, and in some ways it did. But it also created new competition. Now millions of people compete globally for jobs, freelance work, attention, and opportunities. At the same time, automation keeps replacing certain forms of labor, which means many workers feel more replaceable than ever before. That pressure affects wages. And when wages stagnate while costs rise, financial stress becomes permanent. This is why people feel trapped despite living in one of the most technologically advanced eras in history. Because economic progress doesn't always distribute benefits evenly. And this is where the story changes again. The wealthy often use inflation differently. They borrow against assets, invest in appreciating markets, own businesses that can raise prices. Meanwhile, average workers rely heavily on fixed income from labor. That creates two completely different financial realities. One group benefits from rising asset values. The other struggles against rising living costs. And over decades, that gap compounds massively. This is why wealth inequality keeps growing in many countries. Not because everyone is lazy or irresponsible, but because systems compound differently depending on what you own. And most people never realize this while it's happening, because the pressure arrives slowly. A little more rent, a little more debt, a little more stress, a little less savings, until eventually, survival itself becomes expensive. And this is where it affects your future. Many people now delay marriage, children, home ownership, retirement, not because they don't want those things, but because financially they don't feel stable enough. That changes entire societies. Fewer births, more stress, more burnout, more anxiety around money. And the scary part, a lot of people still believe things will automatically become affordable again. But the system has fundamentally changed. Globalization changed labor markets, asset inflation changed wealth building, technology changed competition, debt changed consumption, and inflation changed purchasing power. Everything connects. Here's the big realization. Most people are trying to win a financial game without understanding the rules changed decades ago. The old formula was, work hard, stay loyal to your job, save money, retire comfortably. But today, hard work alone often isn't enough to build financial security, because the economy increasingly rewards leverage, ownership, and assets over labor alone. That doesn't mean success is impossible, but it does mean many people are running uphill without realizing it. And once you understand that, a lot of modern life suddenly makes sense. Why people feel exhausted, why salaries don't feel enough, why homes feel unreachable, why debt keeps growing, why anxiety around money is everywhere. This entire system keeps extracting more from people while convincing them the struggle is personal failure. On the surface, it looks normal, but it's not. So the next time you wonder why catching up financially feels impossible, remember this. You're trying to survive in a system where the cost of living rises faster than stability itself, a system where ownership often beats labor, a system where debt fuels growth, a system where inflation quietly erodes progress in the background. And unless people understand how the game actually works, they'll spend their entire lives running harder without ever truly getting ahead. And most people will never realize why.